Welcome to Kiwi Talks, the show that talks about people's life stories to share to you guys. I'm your host, Giovanni Torres, and today we'll have a special guest talk about their high school experience during a global pandemic. Today's guest is my brother, Gabriel Torres. He is a 19-year-old student at Texas A&M International University, majoring in computer engineering. He will share to us his early 2020 experience during a global pandemic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk about my 2020 experience.
Well, let's start off with this. It's 2020. It's the new year, people not knowing what could happen.
We come into a new year every year with different expectations. We don't know what's going to happen. We just come from another year before where we just finished, or let's say some people finish their New Year's resolution, some of them don't. So, we're all open to new experiences in that new year.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to ask you is how you felt in the beginning of the year without knowing any of the chaos that it was going to bring.
Well, the beginning of 2020, let's see. That's the spring semester. That's my last semester of my senior year in high school at Martin High School. I was pretty excited because that was the first time that I had like an off block, because since I was always so involved with band in the mornings and then BMT in the afternoon. So, so we went through the semester, everything was going good, and then we went into spring break, and that's obviously where it all started.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you're into your first week of the break. You're excited. You're having a good time with your family, because it's a break. So then you go over the Sunday and then you hear news about like people saying like, oh, there's going to be another break of school. So you're like, oh, okay. How did you feel about like the first week, like the first extra break?
Well, yeah, it was funny because at first we were all excited. We're like, yes, but like that's so cool. Who doesn't want to have an extra week off of school? So they said one more week, and then after that they were saying another week, and then until it stopped getting funny after a while, after like 2 months. So
and then once like they started showing like oh, there's this disease, this COVID. So like they start quarantining everything. They start like closing everything down. Like how'd you feel like about like this new virus? Like did you have any big expectations it would get big or something?
To be honest, I thought we were gonna quarantine and everything was gonna be fine by the time we graduated. And it was like 2 more months after that, but no, it didn't get any better, and obviously it was pretty scary. What do you expect? It's a virus. Nobody knows how it's transmitted.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how it was, if it was contagious, the symptoms. It's scary at first.
Well, yeah. Personally, for me, I'm more of a younger age. I'm playing video games. Like I didn't mind the extra weeks. I was on the first week of break. Like, oh, I'm gonna go back to school, but another week of break. Like, oh, I'm fine. I'll just be home, like playing online games with my friends.
For me, it was kind of. It was good, the same at first, but then after a while, I started getting a little sad. Obviously, it was my senior year. I wanted to enjoy it, and I had barely started driving too, so I was taking the car. And I obviously wanted to have, that movie high school senior year experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's two sides on that topic.
And then also like I want to mention something about me. My birthday was during the summer.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
Both of our birthdays.
Yeah, and then like it was kind of crazy to think that like we couldn't really like celebrate it, in public.
Yeah, at first I think that's when the car drive-through started.
Yeah.
Doing the ride, birthday parades. That's what they're calling. I remember in our neighborhood we used to just hear the car horns, and then people giving out candy bags. That was cool. I didn't really mind that, but obviously, if for your birthday you want everyone to get together, talk and socialize and laugh. But it was hard at the time, but it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up the first question, the first topic, and I'm gonna talk about. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. How did it affect your daily life? Like this new disease, like the quarantines, the closing everything down.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I remember the first couple months. After a year, actually, yeah, we didn't even try to go shopping to Walmart. I remember my mom always tried to order in Walmart online and just put the stuff in the truck, how they did it. But even then, when we got the stuff, we used to put Lysol and clean it. Maybe the basic things of just getting groceries. And I remember, obviously, another big thing was that I wasn't able to hang out with my friend. Oh, I remember this very, very clearly. I wasn't able to see my girlfriend for almost like 6 months, and that was really sad. That was really sad.
Yeah. And then also a quick thing I was gonna say, you know how I've told you about like the supposedly like I was gonna watch the Godzilla movie with my friends, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So like it was before spring break, you know. I was super excited, like, oh, this new
yeah.
Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters. You know, I'm gonna invite like 4 of my drumline friends. We're gonna go watch it. So then it was like the week of spring break. It was planned out to be like during the week after spring break. So then we're gonna go, but then they said, oh, everything's gonna be closing down. There's new disease. That's just like, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
personally I didn't like that.
yeah, we didn't even know what to expect after that because obviously we had a lot of other plans, and well, thankfully we didn't really have that many like big plans. But imagine those who had like weddings
Yeah.
planned, like you're planning, you're spending so much money, and then out of nowhere you literally can't do anything. You have to just put everything back, and I mean it's tough. It's really tough.
And then also I was gonna say about, you know how like everyone like out of nowhere, like of course it's a new like disease, like it's an illness, but like everyone started taking cleaning seriously, like if they haven't like cleaned before, like you know,
Yeah.
like those TikTok videos like cleaning like their fruit and everything. Like, did people not do that before? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
You know what? I remember. Oh, look. Let me say this too. I was still working when the virus started. So let's say like, the first time they extended the spring break, I was still working, and I remember they were telling us to clean extra the countertops, and it got annoying to a point because my hands started getting all pruny from
Pruny,
from the alcohol and everything that we put, and we were literally I'm not kidding, we were literally cleaning the counters every 5 minutes, and even there no one was there, and at the time the masks were not really mandated at that time, so I mean yeah.
And then also I was gonna ask how it affected your job, since like it was like what, your first job at Cinemark?
Yeah, I entered the Cinemark Movies 12, and I was 16 and turned 17 when I was working, and I was barely gonna hit 1 year. I remember I was so sad that we stopped working because they laid us off. After the third week, they extended it. They're like, yeah, we the Cinemark furloughed employees, and they closed down a lot of theaters because obviously people were not able to go out anymore. And I mean, yeah, it was sad because look, I think the saddest part for me was I was about to get my 1 year pin. I know it's like such a dumb thing to say because I remember some other employers had like the coworkers, they had the 5 year pins. I mean, obviously I didn't want to be there for that long, but I just wanted that one pin to have as a memory, you know. But I mean, yeah, it was pretty sad. I got furloughed, and thankfully I was able to get unemployment benefits, and that was really what helped me financially throughout the whole beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, and then so I'm gonna fast forward towards the end of the year. So you know how like that Christmas we had was like in a Zoom meeting, like,
Oh yeah.
let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, we usually have a tradition with our family. Our family is really big. I would say
Yeah.
maybe like 30,
Yeah.
40 people. And plus that's probably the first time in our lives, on all of our lives, that we don't get together as a family, because we just get together in our grandparents' house, and we just just have a good time. We enjoy
Stay up
Christmas,
late, the
yeah,
food.
still and also even Thanksgiving. We didn't really have much to do.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about like your graduation. How did you feel, graduating during this like global pandemic?
Well, the graduation was kind of better than I had imagined. They usually do it at the LEA inside indoors, and obviously they can't have that many people indoors.
Yeah.
So what they did they did the graduation commencement ceremony at at Shirley Field. So it was pretty cool because my mom, our mom graduated the same way as I did in the Shirley Field, and it was a really cool experience because that's obviously what you see in the movies too. And was the movie experience that I wanted, I didn't get, but I at least got the cool graduation experience, and it was really cool because after that I saw my friends, and obviously we couldn't really hug or talk as much, but just the thought of me seeing them was really fulfilling.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say like I actually like remember watching the video being live streamed.
Oh yeah, because you weren't able to go.
Yeah, I was in a room, and then I had, I think, my dad's tablet next to me, and then I just like see you like go up on the podium, and it's crazy. Like you graduated during like this pandemic. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and plus after that, that's where I started. That same summer, I started at TAMU because I needed to get some classes advanced. Since I got a scholarship, I was required to take some extra classes to fulfill my scholarship. And well, yeah, that's where my senior year started at TAMU, and obviously we were also still virtual, and it was really hard at first, but I was able to go through the semester quite comfortably.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that wraps up today's episode of Kiwi Talks. I think on the next episode we'll talk about more like in depth of like your TAMU experience and everything else. And yeah, anything you wanna like top off with?
Well, no, that's pretty much it. Thank you for having me. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed talking about this, and yeah, I'm looking forward for the next show.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. This is Kiwi Talks, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.